Okie dokie, people. Welcome to Sneezy's IT Corner. This is going to be the first video in a short series I'll be doing about how to install VirtualBox and then also Windows Server and on one VM or virtual machine, and then also Windows 11 on another VM, so we could set up a little Active Directory home lab that we can mess around with. Purpose of this whole channel is not really to become an expert. I'm very new at all this stuff. It's just here so I can have some place to post the different labs that I do at home for my website that I'm making, which is going to be linked to my resume when I'm applying for jobs. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to need to do is download VirtualBox. And you can go to virtualbox.org/wiki/downloads. And we're going to be downloading the Windows host because my machine here has Windows on it. And then we're also going to be downloading the extension pack. Now I already did all that. See, if you could look here, the extension pack is VirtualBox. So I've already downloaded them. So you can go ahead and download both of those. All right. And then once they are downloaded, the first thing we're going to do is open up VirtualBox itself. Click yes. I'm pretty sure I already clicked yes. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, it opened up twice for some reason. So we got an installer running here, so we're going to do next. I accept. Keep everything default. I'll just leave all those highlighted and click install. And we're going to run through this. Should just take a couple minutes here to get this done. Once I start going into like the different Windows setups and stuff like that, I probably will pause the videos just so there's not a lot of waiting around time. All right, so we're going to start it. And here we are. This is the Oracle VirtualBox Manager. This is where we create all of our virtual machines. So the first thing we need is an ISO for server. We're going to go to the Windows Server Microsoft Eval Center. I'll put the links in the description of the video if you need them. You're going to go to ISO download 64-bit. I've already downloaded it, so we're good on that. I just left it in my downloads folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to do new. We're going to name this one Windows. If I could spell right, would be in good shape. Windows Server 2022. And I have it's going to put it in the VirtualBox VMs folder here on the users JH. ISO image we're going to look for, and we're going to look for server eval. That's the one we need. And you can see it already. We're going to do skip unattended installation. We're going to finish. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is settings. Okay. First thing we want to do is the system. We're going to bump it up a tiny bit. I'm going to give it 4 megs of RAM. You could do more if you have more room. But that's what I got. Okay. We're going to do, that's good. I jacked that up. Monitor count is 1. And then we're going to do, let's see here. Sorry, back up here. We're going to look for the processor. We're going to give it 2 CPUs. Because I really don't have a ton of them. We're going to enable these now. You could do it inside as well, but if you enable it bidirectional, which means you can copy and paste and share the clipboard with your host machine. Otherwise, you won't be able to. And then we'll set up the network once we get both machines going. So there we go. So we're going to start it. And then it's going to run through the installation of installing Server 2022. So the VM is powering up. And for all you tech gurus out there, if you happen across this video and I'm doing something wrong, feel free to leave a comment. Or if I could be doing something better, just throw a comment in and let me know. Could always use some help. Like I said, I'm pretty new at this kind of stuff, although I have a very technical mind. All right, so we're going to do English US and all that stuff. The mouse is a little laggy. We're going to do something to fix that once this is installed. And then we'll click install now, and it's going to install Windows Server 2022. Take a little zip of my Red Bull. Okay, so we're going to do this one here because we want the desktop environment. We want the GUI, as it's called. If you do standard evaluation, it's just going to be all command line. And if you're brand new, it might be a problem. So we'll click next. I accept because I love you, Microsoft. We're going to do a custom install because it's brand new. It allocated 50 gigabytes to the hard drive for this machine, which is fine. So we're going to click next. And it's going to install all this. Now I think I'm going to pause this because this kind of takes a little bit of time to do. So I'll bring you back once it's all done. Okay, so it downloaded it and it actually restarted the computer so that the settings can take effect. It's going to automatically restart it, so you don't have to do anything. Just let it do its thing. You don't need to touch nothing. You don't need to touch nothing. Boo doo boo boo. Boo doo boo boo. Boo doo boo boo boo. Come on, Windows. Get my stuff ready. Get my stuff ready. Almost there, I think. And we're probably going to be prompted to create a password for the administrator account. Should be next step, I believe. I've done this a couple times. There we go. So we're just going to go ahead and put a password in. Use whatever password you like as long as you remember it. All right. Now, this here, you can't press Control Alt Delete to unlock this server. What you can do is you could do Input Keyboard, insert Control Alt Delete, and it'll automatically do it for you. So you'll get to the login screen. Put in that password that you just created. And it's going to open it up, and Windows Server should be installed. La 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 la. La 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 la. Sure. What we're going to do is we're going to do insert guest edition CD image. I don't need to show that again. What that's going to do, it's going to install the guest editions in the CD. So if we go into, I don't know why it says USB tablet, but if we go into the File Explorer, and we go here, we're going to run the Windows Editions AMD 64. And it's just going to give us some handy dandy little applications, I guess you can call them. Let's just go ahead and reboot it, get it over with. And this way the mouse will work a little bit better. Things of that nature. I'm not sure everything that does. If you want to Google it or chat GPT it, feel free. If you're the curious type and you need to know. All right, so we'll input Control-Alt-Delete. Put our thingy in there. And here we are. Windows Server 2022. 2022. Now what we're going to do is, while we're here, might as well just install Active Directory. All right, don't worry about this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Tools. Where is it? Manage. Add roles and features. That's the one we want. Or you could have got it right from here in the... Right. We'll go next. We're going to do role-based. That is our server that we just created. We're going to rename that as well. We'll do that in a minute. Next, we're going to do Active Directory Domain Services. It's going to add features, which is fine. Just let it do that. And we're just going to next through everything. Next. Next. Oh no, hit install, sorry. Now I'm hoping that this doesn't take as long, but I think I'll pause it anyway. And I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so as you see, once it's done, you'll get a little installation successful on this computer. All right, we're going to close that. And we are going to go here, settings, is this it? No. What? I'm in the wrong spot, I think. We're going to go to here we go. Rename this PC. So we're going to call this DC01, which stands for Domain Controller 01 or number 1. All right, we're going to do that. We're probably going to have to restart again. Let's do restart later. And that's it. Active Directory is installed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to promote this server to a domain controller, which is why we named it DC. Now we don't have any existing domains or forests. We're going to add a new forest, which basically a forest is like the top. If you imagine like a file hierarchy, a forest is at the top. Inside a forest, you can add domains. You could add multiple domains. For the root domain, we're going to do you can name it anything you want. We're going to do a sneezy.local. Actually, yeah, that's good. You can name it sneezy.com. It doesn't matter if there's a website out there with that name. This is just to name the domain's root name. So we'll click next on that one. All right, leave that the same. We're going to have to add a password once it, I don't know why, there we go. Use whatever password you want. I'm going to use the same one as I did for, all right, that. Ignore all the little error messages that are going to come up as this is getting installed. It's going to automatically fill in the NetBIOS domain name, which will be sneezy.local. Or just Sneezy. I don't think it puts the .local. See? Next. Next, leave that the same. We're going to leave all that the same. Okay. Yeah, I know. I guess I got to restart it because I changed the name. All right, well, let's restart it then. we're going to power off the machine. I wasn't aware that that was going to happen, so we're going to see it's right there. It's highlighted, so we're going to restart it now. Boo-doo-boo-boo. This is why we experiment, because we learn new things. I just learned that I have to rename the computer first. Oh, what am I doing? Bloop. Do-do-do-do. You should see me looking over at this screen because I have OBS running on my other computer. Don't worry about that. Who cares why it shut down? None of your damn business. Ain't none of your business. Now it'll automatically open up. And then we can get back to what we were doing. Alright, let's try that again. New Forest. New Forest. Any day now. I don't know why I put it in capitals, but I did. Sue me. Leave that. Password. All right, don't worry about the yellow ones. That's going to autofill. Now, there are other options here that you can use too, instead of virtual machine. I might make videos on those later on down the road for the channel. One thing is if you don't have enough resources for installing a virtual machine on the host computer, say you have an old computer and it's not, it's not enough. It's just not enough. Don't worry about all those stuff. We'll just install. What you can do is use this or AWS, but I like Microsoft Azure. I think it's more intuitive for me anyway. You could use Google Cloud. You could try it for free. You're going to have to put a credit card in here. All right, I'm not going to do all this. You have to put a credit card in here, but it gives you like $200 worth of credit that you could use. I think you have 30 days, which is more than enough time if you're going to screw around. And then it goes pay as you go, but it's really, really cheap. Really cheap. You're talking like 2 cents an hour or 20 cents an hour or something like that if you're going to use Azure. I might get into that. I have to. Okay. Restarting one more time. Yeah, so it's a cheap option. It's obviously much different setting it up. But like I said, maybe down the road I'll shoot some videos on just using Azure and how to create virtual machines on there, because that's a very good option for some people. The only thing is, once you're done with the lab, it's better off. I mean, you could stop it, but you're still getting charged for the resources, even though they're not running. So you can just delete everything, but then next time you want to go into a lab and play with it again, you got to reinstall them, which it's not terrible. It does maybe 10-15 minutes installation time, and you can set it all up again. But like I said, 20 cents an hour, that's like not a lot, It's that 20 cents times 24. That's 4. Maybe about $5 a day if you left it running. But you could just shut it down, like I said. Another option is also VMware. That's another virtualization software. Hold on. I've used this before as well. You use VM, stop, products. We're under products. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to click that. Fusion Workstation. I believe Fusion is for Mac, and I believe Workstation is for Windows. Yeah, and Linux. You got to use Workstation Pro. It's free for personal use. Got to sign up for that too, though. I think this is restarting. I don't know. It's taking a bit, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to restart. Everyone's going to be happy, and we're going to love life. So, I don't know what it's doing. Let me pause this for a second. Okay. It finally did whatever it was doing. Bloop. As you can see, it's different now. It says Sneezy/administrator because that's where on the domain of Sneezy, which is me. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can set up if you go into command, sorry, for some of you that don't know how to do that, if you type CMD in here, it'll bring up the command prompt. You could just hit enter, it'll open it up. And then if you go ipconfig on a Windows machine, you could see the address that it was assigned 10.0.2.15. Now if I do that on my as you can see, it's different. It's 10.0.0. So these are on different networks right now, but they have their own IP addresses so they can get out to the internet. You can set it up so that the lab can't communicate with your host machine if you want, but each VM will be able to communicate with each other, which what we might do. I'm not sure what the network configuration is going to be yet. We'll figure that out, obviously, before we shoot that video. So anyway, here we are. Congratulations if you've gotten this far. You've installed Active Directory, and you've promoted it to a domain, and it's running and ready to use. So the only thing we have to do is we have to install this too. No, that's already in there. Okay, good. So this is our local domain. As you can see, it's got our administrator user that it built. Here's a guest one as well. But you can add, you can add a bunch of users and stuff like that. But that's it for this video. So I hope you were able to follow it easily enough. And next thing we're going to be doing is Windows 11 on a virtual machine. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.